Oh, you can't actually see me right now because I'm behind the camera. But you may have heard by now that we're going to try to reopen for public worship on November 8th. With limitations, of course. We can only have a maximum of 50 people in worship in order to keep the social distancing going. You may be hearing me breathing harder because, I'll try to show you, I have my mask on. Not that I want to wear one, it's that we need to wear them. And because I have glasses on, it also means that my glasses fog up. And I'm doing this camera work without a script, so this is going to look a little weird. As you come in, you may have noticed there's no ushers. But on the welcome table, there are some masks, in case you forgot yours, because part of walking in the building means that you're going to adhere to the conditions and the expectations that we sent out. Also, we have some little bitty sanitizers. You're welcome to take one if you like and take it back to your car. Keep it with you in your purse or in your wallet, or not your wallet, they're too big for that. And we also will have bulletins laid out for Sunday morning, and you can take one of those. Again, there won't be an usher here to shake your hand and say hello. There might be one, but if there is an usher here, they're probably going to be way, way back there so that there's 6 feet distance, and they'll be wearing a mask as well. You might walk in and say, well, it doesn't look all that different to me. Well, let's get a close-up before we go any further. First off, one difference is, here's the offering plate and a great big sanitizer. So you can leave your offering on the way in or the way out. There won't be any offering taken during the worship service so that we're not passing that around. And I'd like to take you over here. Here's the sound booth and now also the operations for the camera. My son Noah will be in this booth, and I know you all will want to talk to him and say, hi, how you doing? We're going to ask that you not do that. Not that we want to be rude, but we want to keep this to a minimum for communication and for staying 6 feet apart. Now, you may walk in and say, oh, here's my favorite pew. What's that? That's tape. I'm not allowed to sit in my favorite pew? Sorry, but because of the rules about physical distancing, we need to have 6 feet between that pew and that pew, which means not all the pews are open. So you move back. You want to sit in this pew. You see there's tape along the pew. What's this sign? The sign in the middle says, sorry, social distancing. This seat area is not in use. Oh my goodness. So we have to have 6 feet between people. So people can sit on that end, not in the middle, and on this end. Yes, there are changes. And you might look in here and say, hey, there's nobody here. I can sit wherever I want. We're going to ask you not to do that. If you're the first one here, what we'd like you to do is walk, 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 unless you're physically unable to walk this far. Come all the way to the front, where you'll find the first pew on the pulpit side is open, with an exception, of course, the same sign you just saw. Each pew that's open will have one of these signs in the middle, and the ends will be left open for seating. Okay, for those of you who love the first pew on the choir side, oh, why is that tape there? That's my favorite pew. Why didn't you close off somebody else's pew? Well, the simple answer is that when someone's singing, particulates can travel 25 to 30 feet, as opposed to talking, which is 6 to 9 feet. So when someone's up here singing, in order to get to that 25 feet, this pew is too close. So the first pew is taped off. The second pew will be open on the ends, Again, there's that sign telling us that this is not a safe area to sit. We need to keep 6 feet distance. And you'll see all the way down, every other pew is taped off to maintain that 6 foot of distance between the first pew here and the third pew here. If you're coming in and you're a reader, you're going to use the pulpit just like you normally would, read the lessons and say the prayers. So what we'll ask is at least sit in this first pew over here, closest to the pulpit, which means you won't be walking past people. Or, if you like, we have opened up the back pew over by the bell choirs for additional seating. And if you're a reader, you may want to sit here. Or you may want to sit at the other end and just come around the back and come to the pulpit. Nothing looks much different in the pulpit. Oh, wait a minute, or then in the altar area. Wait a minute, what's that? Why is the candle lighter there? Well, the reason is this area is going to be reserved for pastor, which means that pastor is going to be lighting the candles and putting them out afterwards. Why don't we have the choir pews marked off? Well, the simple reason is because it's not really considered safe right now to have the whole choir together singing. A lot of choirs have tried it and usually find out that many people in the choir end up contracting COVID-19. And then it spreads not only throughout the church, but throughout the community. So one person will be singing and leading the singing, or we might have a couple from the same household, which is why there's 2 microphones. Now you may be thinking, how am I going to sing with a mask on? Well, that's a good question. And we're going to ask you not to sing out loud, not to do the responses out loud, but sing in your spirit so that God will hear you. Do the responses in your spirit so that God will hear you. I know that seems confusing because it was confusing for the staff. But when you think about it, when you say your prayers, do you always say them out loud? Or do you count on God to hear you in your spirit as you pray? Think about that for your singing too. Now let's move right ahead and say the service is over. I can just get up and walk out. Well, we ask that you don't do that. We want to do this in stages. So, as the people came in first and came all the way down to the front, we would prefer that the people in the front wait. Let the people in the back leave first, because we don't want people walking past each other. We don't want the danger of a potential spreading of COVID-19. We also don't want the temptation for people to stop. Oh, there's my friend I haven't talked to in a long time. I think I'll stop and talk to that person. We don't want that. We know that would be nice. It's just not safe yet. So if you're walking, keep walking. Don't stop here, but head outside. Just like if you were in a hurry. If you want to visit with people, go out to your cars. Not a car right outside the door like you see Susan's. She's just here to pick something up. But go all the way out to the parking lot where your car is. What happens if I have to go to the bathroom? Well, these bathrooms here will be open, available to use if you need it. What you may not like, though, is that the door here to the outside is going to be propped open. Excuse my camera work. So when you approach, you don't actually have to touch a door. Some of you are going to think, well, I don't think I like that. I don't want to go to the bathroom with the door open. I understand. It's uncomfortable. If you can, Maybe you wait till you go home. If you can't, we would rather you didn't close the door, because then someone else has to touch it. Again, if you need sanitizer, take one home. If you need a mask for when you come to church, take one with you. If not, just head out the doors, return to your cars, return home safely. Or if you want to talk to your neighbors, stand by your cars and talk to them there. We know this is an inconvenience. It's an inconvenience for all of us. It's just something that we have to go through right now until we have a vaccine readily available and affordable for everyone. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for following along with my bad camera work. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.